next topic is our job experiences.
I forgot about this topic. forgot we were going to do this.
I was excited.
It's only been
for
a
this.
week since we talked about
How about you go first, since
it.
you're
Alright.
technically sort of the guest, and we probably have very similar stories.
The guest?
I'm not really a guest.
He's not a guest.
I mean, it's like he's a mainstay on the podcast.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, I'm the one that edits it.
we tried to shake him off, but he kind of just like
You
leashed
can't
off.
shake off the Mongol one.
Yeah.
But we'll probably have very similar stories.
I've had 2 jobs, and they're like at both ends of the spectrum of good and bad. Like the good is I worked for a plumbing company in Ocean City, and I had a ton of fun. I didn't talk at all really.
Yeah.
Because I don't like talking in front of people bigger than like groups of 3. So like we'd be sitting like they have a dining room table type thing and chairs around it in the office, and like I just sit there and not talk the whole like half an hour sitting there in the morning.
That guy.
And then like we get in the truck and I'd be talking fine, but
Yeah.
I'm like sitting there like, yeah, I don't have much to say right now. I just woke up like 2 hours ago. I'm tired, and I don't drink coffee. And then the horrible experience was I worked at Playland in the arcade.
I'm pretty sure that's
Which is-
anybody's experience there.
Which is it's
Probably the worst place
everybody
to work
thinks
on the boardwalk.
no,
I mean,
but like in
like
Playland
the Ocean
it's
City Boardwalk is probably the worst place to work.
Yeah,
in
New
Playland
Jersey.
itself though, like there's the arcade and then there's the rides and and then there's like the little like mini game type things, like the mini game type things, those are like the best place to work, and the photo booths. Then there's the rides as the next worst, or going down, and then arcade is like the worst because you have to stand the whole time, walk around, deal with people the whole time, and I hate people.
Well, that's when you crack open a Mountain Dew and say, "Let's get to work."
No, but like
Turn on my video gaming console.
it got to a point where I'd start time
Time
like
to
because I
work.
had to. There's like the 2 big bay doors, and you have to walk from this side around the U to this side and then back. Just keep doing that. So I started timing my laps. Like it was like I could do it in 1:30 seconds. That was my average.
Jeez.
And like, people are the worst. Like they're just rude,
I know
and
that.
there's like, and especially when like there's like you guys have you guys been to that arcade?
Yeah.
There's like going down the one side, like the north side. There's like the big like larger basketball thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you pull the basketballs out, you can break the motors. So like people do that all the time, and I'm like, why would you intentionally break a machine? Like,
Well, they're
I
on.
don't think that needs much
but like
explanation.
think to yourself, grab ball, pull it through a thing that it's not supposed to come out of, and then just shoot it.
They're on vacation, so
They're
I
on
guess
the-
they're
yeah,
like,
they're
you know what?
free from consequences.
I'm just gonna go home and like nothing's really gonna happen.
Yeah, but if I catch you doing it and it breaks, you got to pay us $1,000 to fix it.
Yeah.
So
$1,000.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's a pretty and it's like a pretty old machine too. So
Yeah.
it's
Ouchie.
not cheap.
It's on its last legs.
It actually is like the boards like stop working like a lot.
I think that explains most of the boardwalk itself.
But then
Yeah,
there's
It's
like
falling apart.
Since Sandy.
well, no, not the actual boardwalk. It's all the shops on there.
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
keep repairing the boardwalk.
Yeah, because they're like 50 years old.
But then like people, there's like coin operated rides, and then full grown adults sit on them. I'm like, you can't even fit on it, so why would you sit on it? Like, that doesn't make sense at all. And I worked in the season where my boss would call it the nearly deads and the newlyweds, where it's like only old people with their grandkids, and then the
Really
newlyweds.
It's a good term.
Just don't know.
But it's like, why are these people here? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why people go to Ocean City in general.
I don't know why either.
It's like such a small town,
It's
and
such
then
a
you
tourist
pack.
trap.
Well,
It goes from like 20,000 people in the winter to like over 100,000, probably like over 1 million
Oh yeah.
on the island
Easy.
there
for
is
3 months,
Especially early July.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is a lot to do in Ocean City.
Yeah,
And
but it's
it
like-
is.
But there's better like places to go.
Like,
Yeah, but
and it,
like when you look at where you want to take your kids.
I'd rather take my kids to
America's
Atlantic City.
The
Like-
do AC.
But
Like,
when you're
full honesty, I'd rather take my kids to like Wildwood or something.
when you're outside of the state and you hear nothing about Wildwood, and then you
Wildwood is a bigger
like,
place than Ocean City.
Let's go to the shore.
I'd
Yeah.
rather go to Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
But that's the
Figure
whole
that.
entire thing. They
It's mainly a nostalgia thing because people
Yeah.
go there as kids and then come down. But like, You can go someplace
Creates a
better
cycle.
for the same amount of money.
Yeah,
or even less money.
it's really.
And like I don't understand how people can justify like they must have some pretty good paying jobs to come
There's
down.
there's some high rollers there, high rolling shoes.
I know. I've worked for them.
High rolling shoes. It's
Those
true.
high rolling shoes.
There's
True.
some of the houses I'd work in. I'm like, how do you people like? How can you do this?
Yeah, like
Wait,
those beach houses, like one floor on like a 3-story like condo.
Did we
It's
ever
like $1
tell
million
you
bucks easy.
about Club Wa?
No, but I'm not.
You're not
Yeah,
done?
he's not done.
It's my
there you
turn
go.
with the mic.
I'll do Club Wa before our stories.
But like,
Okay.
like I remember when my grandma passed away, we were thinking about either selling her property or I wasn't, my parents were, and my dad's siblings, like of selling the property or keeping the property, and my dad and mom buy them all out of their property, of their shares of the property, and then building a house, and we live in the bottom floor and then rent out the top floor or sell it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to live in Ocean City first of all, and like that just it'd be easier just to, like. But then, like, thinking about the costs of that, I'm like, how do you justify that much money to come live in a place for 3 months?
Yeah.
Because, like,
It's so much money
like,
to rent every week.
but then, like, the people have their houses at homes, at houses out of state, and then they're in their New Jersey homes. Then they're paying for cable, electric, water, Wi-Fi, and, like, how do you have that much money to do that?
No idea.
Like, you must
I
have
have
a
no
great
idea.
retirement
Yeah,
plan.
I did like it's not to really go on like because I had a myriad of jobs, but like just to go like what you were saying, like how much money they spend because I did like a concierge service thing where we deliver stuff on a truck. Like someone would order like $1,000 and stuff like just for a week, like just to rent. It was
Yeah, that
insane.
just seems ridiculous.
I don't get it.
So.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
All right,
Okay, let's
tell
start.
them about Club Wa.
So Club Wa is in Ocean City. It's a town near Ocean City. Still like a Bayside town.
And for people that don't know, Wawa is the heart of the staple of South Jersey. It runs the economy.
Yeah, basically, if you want to go anywhere, any convenience store, it's got to be a Wawa.
They there's only one gas station left in Ocean City.
Really?
So then, it's
They just have a monopoly over
it's
it.
but then as soon as you leave the island,
Yeah,
there's Wawa.
There's a Wawa and then there's
Yeah.
another gas station.
There's at 34th and 9th, but then if you go out the Longport way, there's no Wawa. Well, there's a Wawa, but no gas station.
Yeah.
But like, Wawa's got a monopoly on the gas in Ocean City.
Wawa's,
They're just rolling in it.
they're
running-
wrecking every
They're running
other.
our economy.
They run the economy.
Wawa's literally keeping South Jersey.
You know, like the picture where it's like so and so government and
It's
government Wawa.
It's Wawa, then it's Bobby Schmurda.
Bobby
He's pulling the
Schmurda.
strings.
But
And
yeah,
then above Bobby Schmurda is Minecraft.
Minecraft YouTubers. They're really pulling the
he's
strings.
Captain Sparkle and his Minecraft parodies. But yeah, so we have a Wawa in Ventnor, and
It has a pretty bad reputation, let's just say.
so with high rolling shoes, these like I think both last summer and the summer before that, all these like rich kids from Pennsylvania and Delaware and all of them, they would all just leave their parents and come down here.
Yep.
And then
Live in their parents' beach houses.
in like Ventnor
Yeah.
and Margate and stuff like that.
The rich kids.
And every night they'd crowd the Wawa,
The local Wawa.
the local Wawa, and play music and dance in the parking lot
And fight each other.
and fight each other. And
There was like an underground fight club, but in a Wawa
It
parking
was-
lot.
no, it was a literal underground club.
Yeah, it was a club.
Was
So-
there a fee to get in?
No, it was, you just show up and fight for your life.
You had to look rich.
Yeah, you
So-
had to flex on the haters.
So,
We should go this summer.
there was literally...
I'll
Oh,
dress
we
up.
did go.
Yeah.
Like when there was like a small group of people there, but
No, I'll go with.
attracted-
Take me there with a full group, and I'll go full alpha male.
Go to full sicko mode on 'em.
make them give you the
I'll
soylent
get
grin.
ripped just to go there.
The soylent grin. They'll give you the soylent grin.
Wait, tell me, do it again. Do it again.
You gotta hold this switch while you do.
You gotta, as you hold it down, you gotta just.
And put it on your Christmas card for your wife's boyfriend.
That's how you score your new Tommy Bahama shirt. Fresh Rome.
Do I get a switch with this?
You gotta kiss up to him like, hey bud!
Hey buddy, I just want to see my kids.
Here's your Christmas card and $20. Like, I hope I get a new shirt this year.
But yeah,
I mean, I'm already giving you guys money for the kids. Like,
So,
here's
it
an extra
became-
$20.
it became so prevalent that it like a news crew came down, and then there was an actual statement.
Well, this was after there was like a huge fight there.
Yeah,
there was a bunch
huge
of arrests
and then this
and drug busts.
kid with one of the
That would be one of the nights I wouldn't carry a knife.
one of the like the worst get-ups. He had those like pink polo shirts, collar pops,
popped.
Like the
like,
trust fund
all-
baby frat
all
boy.
buttons unbuttoned,
Yeah.
and then
Showing no
aviator
chest
sunglasses.
Wearing the
and he was
chubbies
like,
with the croquis with the boat shoes.
and he goes up
No
to
socks.
the woman and he's like, "Yeah, this is our town now. we own your Wawa."
Do you know who runs the government,
isn't-
son?
Which isn't
idea.
which actually isn't that too far from reality. If you own Wawa, you own Ventnor. Because there's nothing else to do except go see Lucy the elephant and go to Wawa.
We own this Wawa, son. Get down on the ground. You're under arrest. We own this
Basically, the whole island is under siege by these people.
I
By
was
these freaking
under
mongrels.
siege by
I
some rich kid.
I would like to see a situation that mirrored like the whole entire oil crisis, where they like instead of the Middle East dominating U.S. with the oil shortage, it's these shoobies kids dominating
frat boys.
High rolling shoes.
Taking over a Wawa.
dominating Ventnor with their
with their flexing with the Preem and Gucci.
You guys want to this summer make a nature documentary about rich kids in Ocean City?
We could do that.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So pretty cool bananas. My first job there was as a beach tagger for 2 years, and that wasn't fun, because I would always just like I mean there was just like it's not really good for like a 15 or 16-year-old to be walking on the beach like demanding money from people.
Give me your money
when they outnumber you.
Yeah,
I remember just watching the beach taggers get dropped off by the van.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's weird.
it was terrible, and like
Everybody get in the van.
well, like for the most part, I will say people were like pretty like
cooperative.
cooperative, but like probably the remaining 20% was just like
who's gonna stop me?
yeah,
I mean,
like they give you the
love-
hardest time possible.
I'd love to have that job, just argue with people all the time.
I mean that's all I did. Like
That sounds
give me
like
the money and go back to enjoying your beach time. You're
This
wasting
sounds
my
like
time,
the
buckaroo.
worst job.
I mean it was terrible. Like
One of those terrible jobs you can have fun with.
yeah, I mean it probably just depended on the day, because there's some stories from it that were like absolutely hilarious. Because like I mean if you meet that many people throughout a day, you're gonna get some stories out of people. Like for instance, we got a call over the radio, like for people that don't know, it's like we would sweep the beaches, so like we'd go in like different formations and just walk.
I thought you were gonna explain what a radio was.
I'm not gonna explain what a fucking radio is.
For people who don't know, the radio is
The radio was invented.
We walk around in a pack. I was the alpha.
Yeah, essentially, and
So basically,
yeah.
I'm
So
monkey.
we meet up with another squad that's coming our way. So like we'd sweep a certain like block area. So like it would be like 20 blocks.
start at one end and just kind of come together.
Yeah, and come together and get all the tags. So like if it was so we were doing that, and a lot of times since we were lazy employees, we would kind of just sit there for a very long time and then call it in, because we don't feel like walking around like 20 freaking times, like 20 freaking sweeps the entire day. So like we kind of just sit there and just like I don't know, just chillax, and then out of nowhere I hear this call from the radio that says what did it say? It was like it's like this lady, she wasn't like she gave me the hardest time while me trying to get money from her for her to buy weekly tags, and when I finally got the money out of her, she pulled it out of her butt and gave it and threw it at me. pulled a $20 bill and threw it, like literally just reached in and just like pulled it out and threw it. Like, and like they had to like call like a whole health hazard thing on it. Like the guy who came in contact with it had to go home for the day by Ocean City working standards law.
That sounds pretty
And
crappy.
You can't touch anything that
yeah.
comes out of a woman's butt.
No, don't. And
Out of anybody's butt.
yeah, and when I heard that, it was probably the funniest thing I've heard in a very long time when that happened. Well, like, and I mean, there's probably plenty of stories from that job, but I just don't remember because I was like 16 years old. And but anyways,
Why don't we like team up on the music pier?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
tell my other job.
yeah. Well, I'll just introduce it.
match.
I'll just introduce it because I was the first one that worked.
Well, you do your lawn job, and then I'll do my ACS
Well,
job.
I'm kind of going in like chronological order.
Oh, chronological?
Yeah, because he started with his, and I'm gonna do my chronological order.
Okay, let's do the... So it's the music pier, right?
Yeah, so I started working there early last summer. No, like April of last summer. Wasn't even
Of
summer.
last year.
Last year, yeah.
And I started working there early last summer.
Yeah. So my experience...
Actually completed the summer.
So my experience before he came was, I mean, like the first few days were just like, I guess it was okay. But then after that, it was just like, hey, come do our menial work. Come just sweep around for 4 hours, and just do the kind of stuff we don't want to do, and the kind of people that I would encounter, like while in the music pier, were just like the bottom tier of humanity.
not, and it's not just like the guests. It's also the people who work at the music pier.
It's just everybody in general. It's just a madhouse.
There was this one guy who, his name was Rudy. We were the same status in workers.
Except he worked there for like 7 years beforehand.
And he gave me and Josh a hard time. And then, like, whenever I do the the smallest mistake, he's like, did someone mix in, like, stupid pills into your double dunker? And he's like, oh, thank you. So, basically, this guy, his name was Rudy. He was a black man of rotund size.
Rotund nature.
How he was shaped was that of a guinea pig.
Just overall, you look like a guinea pig, just anthropomorphized as a person.
You know how guinea pigs, they kind of start slim at the head and then just like
get fat,
chunk out.
Yeah.
It was that, where he got that pear shape, you know.
Yeah, and he stood at a solid like 5'7".
And then
solid 5'7".
And then sometimes he'd go silent and stare off, and his eyes would wander in a completely different direction.
He'd have like a flashback.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
just
episode
like-
Raven seen into the future.
And his face looks between a cross between a guinea pig, a lizard, a turtle, and a fish.
Generals like him need to be hung on a cross.
and then like, I don't know how many times of the day I'd hear him like scream Tom, in that exact voice.
Tom.
He's like Tom.
Why would he do it? Just cause or?
It's just how he sounded.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
the inflection of his voice was really weird.
And
Like
then
he would just say Tom.
Yeah.
Tom.
And then he'd be a jerk about like the smallest things.
Oh, you blinked too many times.
No, he's like he'd make mistakes, and then he's like, why wouldn't you correct me on that? I'm like, well,
That's not your
first-
job.
yeah, that's not my job. Second, you're if I correct you, you're just gonna go like, oh no, don't correct me, I've been here longer than you. And then I don't know, he was probably the worst part of the whole entire experience. And then I told him that I was quitting. He's like, oh don't quit. Oh, we lost too many people.
Well,
too many back
I'm like,
well, that's because I quit.
Yeah,
first.
Josh.
I
quit,
transferred to a different job in Ocean City, which was grounds maintenance.
which I'm gonna try to transfer to this year.
Yeah, and landscaping, which was interesting.
I'll
But, I mean,
apply
it was
for that.
better.
If I don't get my job with the plumbing company, I'll just come work with you guys.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you could be with my old history teacher who said the N-word.
Yeah, he worked.
But yeah,
So I would work.
but the way he was using it was like,
He was trying
people
to be
aren't
racist.
creative with the N-word anymore.
He was trying to be racist.
He wasn't trying to be racist. He was just
It's
like,
just casually racist.
Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
he was like old man racist.
Yeah. Yeah,
Was
but
your grandfather racist? Ask me that at the Halloween.
Oh yeah, I did. Well,
Alright, but-
everyone's grandfather's a little racist.
Everyone's a little bit racist.
But my experience at the music pier was not only that, like it was not only dealing with the people I worked with, it was dealing with the performers and different stage people that would come in, because as people don't know, the music pier is like a decrepit old haunted building that looks like it's about to collapse into the Atlantic Ocean any minute.
Oh yeah, there was like a boiler explosion that killed a music pier worker.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was only like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And anyways,
I'm never gonna work there.
anyways, it's let's just say it's a very creepy building.
Yeah.
And
Not very.
not only that, it's like a theater venue kind of thing. They have like this huge, pretty big auditorium with like a few hundred chairs, and like there's a stage and stuff. So we'd have to deal with like all kinds of people, like these freaking cover bands.
Oh
That got
yeah.
annoying.
It would be like wasn't there like a Led Zeppelin cover band that everyone was like, wow,
Yeah, it was like
wait until the Led Zeppelin cover band.
yeah, it's like
Led Zeppelin.
yeah, it's like well, you're still seeing a cover band and like C-list musicians.
You should see list musicians
The
at
Beach
music
Boys
pier.
aren't C-list.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did have the Beach Boys, but that was like by
And
the end of the summer when I
Blues
wasn't there.
Traveler.
Who cares about Blues?
Do you know what Blues?
No.
Don't listen to it.
You ever hear that song? Oh, once upon a midnight dreary and walk
No,
with something
no.
in my
That's like a
head.
stupid harmonica solo on it.
Please stop.
Stop,
Tommy.
Alright, stop. Alright, anyways.
I'll
Like,
listen to it
look,
later.
the one group of people that came that really stood out was this group of magicians.
Oh,
And if you know magicians, they're pretty... I don't know. Like,
Well,
I don't know how magicians are to work with, but
Were they like cocky?
what's
or-
his day job, Josh?
I have no idea.
No. You know his day job
What was it?
is right there. He was an Eagle. He was a player for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
guy.
It's right there.
Oh, cool.
I don't know.
It's a town.
He was a player for the Eagles.
Oh, that guy that was on America's Got Talent?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. And then
I had no
he's
idea who it
like
was.
he's like, wow, I'm I saw a magician. And they came in.
They came in first when when I first started working there. It was probably within the first week or two. So like this is when I got engaged fully in the music peer experience, because I was just sweeping, because that's really all they told me to do all day, and I was just sweeping on the stage, and this whole group of magicians came by. Because they were just on the stage setting up.
And they disappear.
Yeah.
Boom!
Oh, we wish.
But, yeah, for their stupid little show. So I'm just sweeping up, doing my job, and they're kind of just talking in their little stupid magician group, and one of them just looks over to me and just like, hey, watch this, and just like took like whatever was in his hand. It was just like dirt and random objects, and just threw them all over the floor. Like while I was just looking at it, and I was just like.
And you were sweeping the stage?
Yeah, I was sweeping at it, and I was just
just started sweeping right towards him.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I gave
Push
him
all the dirt onto him. And
yeah, I just gave him like the worst look possible.
Hey, watch this.
Yeah, because like who does that? Who does that?
Idiot.
Like,
Tommy, I can tell this was in your house because it's covered in dog hair.
Yeah, like your entire house.
I'm sorry, my space heater is covered in dog hair, and then my dog sheds 24/7.
All right, but. Yeah, I did that. They gave me a terrible impression of them, and I was just like,
well, that's not even counting how they entered.
Oh yeah,
They Batista bombed the guy through the door.
Or they Batista bombed Rudy through the door.
I wish that happened.
Are you doing some fake college?
That did sound like a fake call. Yeah, I was picturing like Rudy going like, "Hey," and then just someone run over and grab him and Batista. If you knew what he looked like, you'd be dying.
So
You know his last name? Hold on, wait.
all right, but
What's his name?
Rudy Kinnard.
Kinyard.
Oh no, not the. This isn't the.
No, I want
Should
to
probably
know
get that out.
This, yeah, he's probably on this.
Yeah, so I was so on the stage, they had this like fake motorcycle on there. I don't know why. They had this like giant fake motorcycle in this big containment like box thing, and apparently they're gonna make it disappear, and they spent like $20,000 to ship it across the country, and apparently I wasn't there for the stupid show, but. Apparently, they only used it for like 10 seconds. They were just like, "Oh, you see this motorcycle? Or I'll make it disappear." And then he made it disappear.
Bam.
And it's like, "Oh, on to my next trick." And then it's just like, yeah, but
The property damage that it did.
all right, I'll talk about that, because not only did they make a terrible impression coming in, but they made a terrible impression coming out.
Oh, that's when it was coming out?
Yeah, going out, because like they made a terrible impression going out, because for some reason they thought it was a good idea to bring an 18-wheeler on the boardwalk. And if you know the boardwalk, it could barely handle like a 2-ton truck.
You can barely handle the weight of the people.
Yeah, it could barely handle the weight of the people.
Weight of the
And-
people it's killed.
And there's no way that an 18-wheeler can have enough room to turn on any of the like entrances or exits. Yeah,
Special
so
kind of cuck.
Beta male!
they're a special kind of cuck. Giving us the
Flash
soylent
their
grin. Giving me the soylent grin while they throw stuff on my floor for me to sweep up. Anyways, like they're so these soy boy cucks, they're driving an 18-wheeler on a boardwalk at 3 a.m. to load all their stupid magician stuff on their 18-wheeler and go off the ramp right in front of the music pier. But of course, like it can't go according to their soy boy cuck plan.
It's not going to plan!
So they try to turn the 18-wheeler onto the ramp, which obviously wouldn't fit it. So they absolutely obliterated a Frenchie's French fry stand neon sign that cost $30,000.
And they just installed it
a couple days before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a couple days beforehand. and absolutely destroyed it with
Facts and logic.
with facts and logic, and the side of the 18-wheeler. And my supervisor was there to witness the entire thing, and he caught everything on
It's
pictures.
all on tape.
Was that during the day or during the night?
Well, it was like the next day because what they did it at like 3 a.m.
They destroyed it at 3 a.m.
Yeah, and like all I saw was like a sad excuse of a Frenchie's French fries stand sign just staring at me. Like as soon as I walked in, and I was like, something went down here. I have no idea what it was, but something went down.
Then they came back after you left.
Yeah, because I booked the place. I needed out of there.
Yeah, you left and you transferred, and then I was still there. And they came back, and you told me about that. I'm like, wow, I can't wait until I see what they're like. And they did the same thing. Well, they didn't destroy the sign.
No, they learned their lesson this
But
time.
they were like, they just leave stuff all over for you to sweep.
Oh, and they like brought a dog in, and it would just like pee all over the place. Like it peed all over the green room.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like, who brought this dog here, and why is it eat?
I was like at first,
I'm pretty sure animals aren't even allowed here.
At first, I was like, "Oh, it's a dog," and because I love dogs. But then it's just started peeing all over the place, and it would run while it was peeing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that would like get all over.
You know, I like dogs, but sometimes they just need to be put down.
That's true. Yeah.
It was like a French bulldog,
I don't even remember what kind of dog it was. All I know is it was freaking annoying.
or maybe it was just a bulldog. I don't know. But it was annoying.
It was a dog. I know that.
So yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's all we really.
And then
It's a horrible experience.
And then dealing with the people there, like the people that would come under the what was the thing called?
The lean-to, or no,
the like overhang thing.
What is it?
I know what you're talking. Like
the
where the gates are, where like the entrance.
I guess like call it like a pavilion or something like that. But
sweep under the.
I think it's.
He's trying to think of what it's called by what he was told to go do.
Yeah.
Sweep under the.
I know it's not the marquee because that's what you had to change. And I know the solarium is actually
It's like the back of the auditorium.
Back of the auditorium.
I find this comical.
Let's just call it like a pavilion.
Yeah, a pavilion.
But anyways, I would be sweeping under there, and people would always come in like they'd always come in with like this like stage looking like Tardo walk, coming in being like
they would
they would just give a few steps, then look around and be like, and then they would just come run up to me and be like, "Oh, where's the men's bathroom?"
It's on the other side of the building.
That's exactly
There's a
what
sign.
That's exactly what I would say. And yeah, and we'd have the signs right up there for them to see, and it would get so annoying.
And then there would be people who are like, "Can we just walk through the thing?" I'm like, "Well, the doors are locked. Like, can you unlock it for us?" I'm like, the doors are locked for a reason, and then they give you like a lock.
What did I do to you,
like it's your fault.
And then they walk around.
I didn't even see it. I know what you did.
The soylent grin.
The soylent grin, and they just nod their head and walk around. But yeah,
Oh man.
But yeah,
But like, if you work a job like that for like the 6 months that I did, then you'll know that it's like no, it wasn't 6 months. It was like 4 months.
By like
I was 6 months.
Yeah.
By like the second week, I'd probably get tired of that job.
Oh yeah. Well, like something new would happen every single day. That's probably the only thing keeping me coming back because like,
what's gonna happen today?
yeah,
Okay.
it's like what kind of Tardo magic's gonna happen today?
Here's the thing. I'm probably 90% sure that this was like a social experiment.
Oh yeah.
Crafted by some higher being to find out what's the most annoying job.
It's
in the
crafted
whole-
by Wawa.
Yeah, crafted by Wawa.
And Bobby Shmurda. They
Bobby
collaborated.
The greatest collab of 2018, Bobby Shmurda and Wawa. Trying to take it.
We know
Trying
who's
to
pulling the
take you.
strings.
But yeah,
We're on to you.
So the music here, it's music. Music's in the name. So they're trying to play their music to promote the oncoming attractions.
Yeah.
You have haunted golf.
Yeah. Oh god.
Played Uptown Funk for 30 hours.
He
Like,
did.
right across.
I know.
Right across from the music pier. That's all out here the entire day.
And then they had the stupid.
Because Uptown Funk gonna give it to you.
That they had the stupid skeleton and
Yeah.
the stupid buffalo.
Yeah.
I was ready to curve
This is
stomp
probably
that
this is probably the
skeleton.
only.
I was ready to set that place.
It's probably the
ablaze.
only instance of me condoning vandalism. But if anybody could go there and just rip the skeleton out of like the bolts out of the
If
out of,
I
like, the
never see
boardwalk
that,
and throw it in the
skeleton
ocean
again,
and take a
it'll
picture
be
of it and
too
send
soon.
it to me, I'll pay them $20.
I'll pay them 100. I don't even have 100 in my bank account. But it was, and they're blasting music, and then you had the Alien Golf Course, which is right down the thing,
Playing like a hip hop version of Rocket Man by Elton John
and then
Rocket Man.
every time.
and then they're blasting music, so it's music from three directions. Most of the time, the Alien Course was like tuned out.
I couldn't handle
But-
that. That would drive me crazy.
Sometimes they're like, you know what? Let's crank it up, and then they crank it to max volume.
They just be fighting each other.
So it was
oh, my
all
finger
three-
slipped. I accidentally turned it up 5 decibels.
And it was the same songs over and over and over again. And
Because Uptown Funk gonna give it to
yeah,
you.
it was Uptown Funk. It was like Kid Rock, Sweet Home Alabama. And
Oh, God.
the skeleton would always say the same thing, where he's like,
It's like, oh, Werewolves of London! I love this song.
and the vocal was like, oh, actually, this is Kid Rock's Sweet Home Alabama, and she's like, I like this song too. Like,
Just ripping off two songs simultaneously.
yeah, and then
My favorite song to hear on the boardwalk.
Yeah.
Sans Undertale.
and then there was, and they blast like Michael Jackson Thriller, which I actually like, but then it was
But
too much.
overplaying it.
And
I
then-
used to like it.
My favorite song, she used to dance like Uma Thurman.
That they played that song more than Uptown Funk.
Yeah, they did.
Cause every time I would walk past there, I just it's either that song or Uptown Funk or Thriller. That's like the only 3 songs in their playlist.
Yeah.
So was that and Justin Timberlake?
Oh yeah, can't stop the feeling.
Working at Playland, like that's really what turned me off from listening to pop music. Like
Yeah.
I used to be able to tolerate it, but now like my sister, she like only listens to that when we're driving, and I'm like, can we just listen to 98.3, listening to South Jersey's greatest hits?
It was just nonstop, and it was like a controlled experiment.
Non-stop swivel.
Because on top of the same songs every single day, you have Scorching Heat. You have the sight of people actually having fun.
You have like
while
overcrowding.
you're not doing
Overcrowding in a very small area.
You have
Like
people,
coming in like refugees of Darfur when it rains.
Then you have people yelling at you for stuff that you didn't do and stuff that you have no control over.
Yeah.
Like the bathroom being on the other side. And they come in and they're like, can you change it? And
I'm not the architect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Tommy, at least when you
Let me get my tools.
But at least at your job, you didn't have people like hounding over you. Like in the people for some reason just don't trust tradesmen. Like we'll be working on a job and they'll just be like sitting over us.
Like, I think you're gonna steal something.
Yeah, like I understand. Like you're paying a couple $1,000s for this, but let me do my job.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, one thing I forgot to say about my portion is I would whenever we would go on to
actually on my portion.
no. So when we would like do an install of HVAC stuff, they taught me how to do the outside work because the inside work is more technical.
Yeah.
So for the condensers, you pretty much just had to undo the electric, take out all the oil and stuff in the system, and then just pick up the new one, put it in. Well, when I'd be taking out the electric, I'd forget to pull the disconnect. So I'd stick the screwdriver in and start unscrewing the wires, and my arm would just start pulsing. Like I'd just stick it and leave it in for a second, so it'd be pulsing. I'm like, oh, I gotta stop.
I think this hurts.
No, it never hurt. I just would realize my arms were like twitching around. I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I gotta stop this. And then I'd just pull it disconnected.
Yeah, but I will say the benefits of the job well, not really benefits, but kind of just like the somewhat positive side effects of it was.
You get the scraps from all the food.
Yeah, you'd always get the scraps from like because they would just like cater like these huge events like Miss New Jersey
and then
stuff like that.
They'd snap their fingers and say, "Human trash can, come over here," and then you'd have to kneel down and open your mouth. And they'd scrape
You kneel
all
at the end of the
would.
table and then just scrape all the
plates included.
Gonna eat some knives.
Yeah. Yeah, but like they would always put stuff in the fridge. Like it would always be like freaking tons of pizza in there, and I would always eat it. But there was always that. There was the head lady.
They had subs.
Yeah,
that was so.
Yeah,
good.
they had subs too.
That was so.
But like the lady that was like head of the whole public works thing apparently really liked me because she thought I was like the best sweeper. Or I was like the hardest worker at the music pier.
Dude, same. I thought you were gonna high five me with that knife in your hand. Put the knife down.
Yeah, but yeah, she said it's like you gotta give this guy a promotion. He's the hardest worker here because I would be sweeping for like 6 hours straight. Because I would be given no other direction other than just sweep.
And then Rudy would always come back to me and say, your boy Josh, he just does nothing but sweep. I'm like, do you give him any other direction? He's like, he should know what to do. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was that.
Whatever, Rudy. That's fine.
That and probably, I did get quite a few numbers just sweeping around. Like phone numbers, digits.
Okay, rub it in.
But I did get quite a few numbers from that, and I was happy about that. But that's really the only benefits I got from it.
And I got rejected. I'm leaving that in. But
yes, I am.
What was it? Was it like the girl that worked in the office thing?
No, she didn't work in the office. It was a girl who worked in like actual event planning.
Oh, well, I think I know.
Well, you didn't fully get dunked on. Your schedule just didn't match up, right? Isn't that what it was?
Oh,
or did you get fully dunked on?
Was it like that thing where like we kind of like collaborated to do like the stupid stuff on the beach, like the inflatable stuff? Like we're like inflate like the giant like lobsters.
I have no clue what
You
you're
have no idea
talking
what I'm
about.
talking
No, I'm actually very intrigued. Do you want to talk about that story?
Yeah, like what was it? Yeah, because it was like the guy, like the one guy. He would work in the office sometimes, like like
Hey.
No, not the gay guy. But, the guy who would,
I know what you're talking about with that.
Yeah. But he was like kind of younger. I think he went to Ocean City High School.
You've met some of the people who were.
Well, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy who does like the announcements.
He does the announcements on the boardwalk.
But he also does like the announcements of the parades. And,
yeah.
But he also has done stuff with like OCTC, and my friends did that, so that's how I know who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some other guy and like a girl, and they would always like just come to help us with like the events.
Brown haired?
Yeah, like kind of was it like curly hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, her.
That's her.
I knew it. I knew it.
I got dunked on.
Did you work during like the businessman's plunge?
I didn't.
This sounds like a mass suicide.
like
I mean, a financial crisis.
Like 1929.
1929 businessman.
It is like business people from Ocean City running into the ocean.
Yeah.
It's a mass exodus from the Ocean City.
Yeah,
The band has to go play for it, and then like they bring in some choir from somewhere, and they sang
taps.
What was it that they sang? It's a Beach Boys song, or no? It's Under the Boardwalk.
Okay, so you have anything else? Wait, no.
Yeah, wait. I was talking about like it was like the Marvin Z Mollusk Day. the thing where
Martin Z Mollusk.
where we inflate like a huge like freaking fiddler crab or whatever, or like hermit crab. I don't know what it was.
My friend was
a hermit
Martin
crab.
sometime.
Oh yeah.
Martin
Yeah.
Wallace.
And like, yeah, and those people they would come. They'd come to help us.
That's the stupidest. Like
I think I got along with her pretty well.
That's the stupidest mascot ever.
We got a crab.
Martin Z Mollusk.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's Martin the Mollusk.
yeah.
Martin Z Mollusk. The Mollusk.
So I got scrunched in the face. While
Scrunched in the face.
while you're out here getting numbers.
So can you explain what happened with that, Tommy, for the podcast? Or should we say that for another episode?
Let's save
Should,
it.
should we go over
We're actually-
relationship?
Relationships
We're doing that
another
in
episode?
Valentine's Day episode.
Oh, yeah.
Concurrently comes like
It's because
On
Valentine's is on a
Thursday.
Thursday, so
Oh.
so.
Everybody-
We're gonna be recording it on a Thursday.
get hyped, everybody.
Yeah.
Relationship.
We're gonna
time.
go past my failed relationships.
Well, everyone's failed my failed relationship. I mean, I kind of got
Spoilers.
half of one.
There's a horse girl. But, but okay, let's
Do the grin.
that's what won her over. Keep going. you
Yeah.
done?
So we're doing this stuff on the beach, and these retarded kids are like jumping on the inflatable thing. I gotta kick them off.
They're killing Martin Z. Mollis.
I shall be his protector, his savior.
Yeah, but that was like
to bomb him into the
Just
ocean.
cold cocks him into the ocean.
gonna knock him into Africa.
What are you doing to Martin?
Take him on top of the music pier and just chuck him into the ocean. Learn to swim, boys.
Yeah, but it was a stupid event, and it took like forever to set this stupid thing up because it would constantly fall over because it was a really windy day, so I needed to like fill up these like 55-gallon drums full of water.
Well, that's the whole entire thing. They don't think.
No,
why don't
they
they
just plan to do it, and
Why don't they
even
just
think.
fill the inflatable up with water?
That's a perfect idea.
I literally think it's them in a conference room, and then someone scribbles like Martin Z. Mollis.
Let's get the inflatable.
Yeah.
They're like, let's think of an animal. Why not a crab? Because ooh, crab. What should his first name be? Martin Z. Mollis.
And it's like, good. Got it.
Promotion. Pay raise.
How soon can we get the schematics to our inflatable maker? Yeah, they really don't think about like the different
They just don't think.
events.
Like, there's always stuff that goes wrong whenever they plan stuff out.
And then they're like, but despite everything that went wrong, we pulled through. And it's mostly because of the people, the music peer, who they're like, yeah, this is going wrong. You gotta mop up our own mess.
Yeah,
You're like,
essentially.
okay. Well, I guess
We're gonna have to fix your problems.
we're gonna have to fix your problems.
Call me a doctor, because I'm fixing your problems.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there was a. You need to move your legs.
Yeah.
So there was a. Do you crack your knee?
No. I'm good.
They had
Give me a
OC Con, and
I forgot about that.
they had this kid, like textbook homeschooler, and he was dressed like the Joker, and he'd like creep up on people and like he'd sneak. Thank you. He'd sneak up on people and like get really close in their ear and go and like do a
I would have punched him.
a stupid Joker laugh. I was ready to punch him not because he did it to me, but because he had a cup of what was it, slushy or something.
So
It was something with like red food dye.
but like but that guy he went to this
He didn't just spill it. Like it looks like he punctured a hole in it and
just walked around.
Yeah, and he just started walking around the whole entire convention center, just leaving a trail. And then I get called down.
That's a big no-no, Daddy.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're both just walking around. So he he punctured this hole in it, and he just keeps walking around. And then I'm like, I get called down because I'm in the green room, which is the chill room. And then they're like, Tom, there's a cleanup on IO nerd. I go downstairs. I fill my bucket. I start mopping, and then he's like walking, and he's still just dripping it. Yeah. I go, hey, do you realize what you're doing? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And then he flashed you a grin, a Soylent grin. Yeah, he flashed me the Soylent grin, and he throws it away.
Well, like that guy.
Like, thanks.
That guy. I was told by a girl I got acquainted with that worked at Three Brothers that he actually went to her school, and she said that he would wear a fedora every single day. Every single day.
That
Every single day.
It's really funny because at my school, you know the school shooter kid I talked about?
Yeah.
He's like all of those kids combined.
Oh.
He's like the weird kid. The textbook, every weird kid in one.
Yeah,
It's
essentially.
funny.
But yeah, that
Flash is
was.
soiling grin.
I really didn't. Just
The OC
awful.
con, it was just like, it was a very strange experience.
I went there once and then left and went and played mini golf at London mini golf.
Yeah.
they projected Injustice 2 on the
On the big screen.
yeah, on the projectors.
Yeah.
And this guy, like, these two kids were playing. They were probably like 7 or 8, and this full grown man, like,
Let me have an ad.
yeah, think about like a full grown fat nerd. Like a neckbeard.
Tommy.
With like a ponytail.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Why
comes
you
over-
dissing the ponytail?
He comes over and he's like, I bet you can't beat me. And then he's like, probably in his early 30s. And then he's fighting he's like schooling these like 9-year-olds in Injustice. He's like, it's fair because kids are very, very adept at video games nowadays.
Well, like,
Yeah, keep telling yourself
well, like
that.
the guests that they did have there, they had Gus from Breaking Bad, which I actually got to meet.
And they get
Pretty
like ghost hunters.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they had, I think that was it.
It was ghost hunters and like some people from
Don't
like
kill
a
me.
show.
I'm coming at you.
But
It was
yeah,
a comic book show.
okay. So basically, one of my experiences was we always had the storage room was on the other side of the boardwalk, so we always had to pull like chairs from that side of the boardwalk over. So basically, one time I was just passing was it the Fudge Factory or whatever it is?
Oh yeah, Fudge Kitchen.
Yeah.
My booty hole.
My booty hole, the Fudge Factory. Around the
ladies and
corner,
gentlemen.
fudge is made.
That was the worst joke I've ever heard.
But basically, there you have all these like
It's like freaking Frogger, like with
Yeah.
like tons of people.
and there's a person outside waiting for her family or something, and she was just standing outside Fudge Factory. I already brought over like 3 chair carts, and then on my 4th chair cart, she stood in the way, and she stopped me, and she said, "Can you not?" And she said, "I have very delicate ears, and you're hurting them. So can you just not pull them over?"
Not your problem.
I'm like,
Listen here, Beta.
"Ma'am, this is
Listen
my
here,
jo-
beta cuck.
I'm like, this is my job." And then she's like, "Yeah, but your main job is to work for the people who come to Ocean City." I'm
Like
my-
who said that?
I'm like, my main job is to do whatever I'm told by my boss. And my boss told me to take these over to the storage room. So you're just gonna have to shut up.
And then you dunked on her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody walked up with a basketball net.
it just so happened that there was a basketball net.
But organizing that room was like hell on earth. Because
Oh
like,
my gosh.
because you had
We'll
to,
talk about organization for a second.
yeah, because like,
We're at 45 of the second.
This is gonna be a long podcast.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
gonna be a very long.
yeah,
podcast.
but like, in order to organize, like, there was only one entrance and one exit to like the storage room.
buckle in.
So and like, to organize things like you'd put all these chairs in there and you'd find out that they all can't fit, so you'd have to take them all back out and reorganize it, put like certain ones in certain places.
Well, wouldn't you just keep doing that then?
Because
Like,
they all had to.
somebody else
They
would do
all
it?
had to link together.
Yeah,
Oh,
They all had to connect.
yeah.
So you
That's-
can't.
They need to rethink their.
Yeah,
plans.
it's really
They need a better strategy for that, but
And
it
then-
was terrible. I hated that.
You have to sweep in between the aisles,
Mhm.
and they give you like these huge brooms, and,
And you
they're
can't
like,
get them between the aisles.
yeah, and then they're like, you have to push the entire aisle all in unison, and lean them up against the first row, and then like you do that, but then you're always like clanging into the legs of the chairs, and then you
I'm
pull
never
them
gonna
back
work
down,
there.
and it's not gonna be realigned, and they yell at you, and you're like, well,
Not my problem.
what am I supposed to do?
So with the plumbing job with organization, there was like like every guy has their own truck pretty much, so they all have them organized in different ways. Well, two of the guys, they have like the vans. The one guy, if you don't, he knows where everything is. So if he asks you to go get something, it's like, can you come with me? Because I'm not gonna find it. And the other guy, the guy that I mainly worked with, he I would reorganize his truck, but then he'd work for over the weekend and it'd be completely ruined. So then I had to reorganize it the next Monday. I'm like, can't you just keep it clean for 2 weeks? 2 weeks, just keep it clean. It's not that hard. Just don't chuck things in. You're not in any rush.
It's organization in the workplace is probably the worst.
Nobody does it right. Really.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a garage that so we'd take all our scrap metal from our jobs and just put it in the garage because it was a 2-car garage that we'd use, and the one guy had a friend that would come in and pick up all the scraps. Well, if the guy didn't come, and it would get packed full of old units, and then we'd have to climb through there to go find stuff, and then this side's all this stuff, and then here's all the scraps, and this side's everything else. But then on this side, at the front, there's old toilets and what are they called? Pallets from when the new equipment comes in. And it's well, now I gotta climb either through this or over this.
Yeah.
And it's just organize.
Yeah, let's just say the music period's just it's falling apart from the inside out, and it kind of belongs under the Atlantic Ocean somewhere.
There's actual sea creatures inside the music pier. I've seen different seafaring bugs.
Oh yeah.
Just crawling around.
Oh no, it's nasty.
Literally the building's falling apart. You can see
they have those,
certain parts of the wall is just chalking off.
Yeah.
Well, at least the bathrooms look nice. Oh, the men's bathroom, I haven't the women's bathroom.
No,
I haven't made the transition yet.
If you actually looked, you'd say no.
It's
it's
not the worst on the boardwalk. The one down at 12th, there's that 2-stall.
Oh, there's
that. Yeah, that's awful.
That's there's, and we gotta talk about the women that work there.
Oh wait! Let me tell you about there was this guy that we're pretty sure was hotboxing the company car.
he worked for the tech.
Yeah, he worked for the tech, and he'd be down there for I don't know how long.
In the company car.
And then he'd come up, he's like, oh, I'm sorry guys.
In a city vehicle.
I had a friend that worked the tech. Should I text him and ask him if there's anyone that's hotboxed it?
Well, he was in a city vehicle, and we'd get in, and it would be all smoky, and you're like,
yeah, oh. I remember I had to drive to the 6th Street, the 6th Street, what is it, the recreation center?
Yeah.
And I would get in there and be someone's been hotboxing in here. There's no way that they haven't been.
Who's been hotboxing my car?
Let's do the woman.
Yeah, so the bathroom attendants were they were an interesting folk.
So
they were just strange individuals.
There was one woman. We are approaching our second time limit. There was one woman who
who looked like Crazy Eyes from Orange Is the New Black.
Yes,
exactly like her.
And then there was another.
Crazy.
There was another woman who had facial scars.
Yeah, she had a third of her face missing from I don't know what it was.
Battle scars.
And it was replaced with a prosthetic face.
And then she
kind of looked scary at night.
She threatened someone
with a knife.
With a knife. She threatened a guest with a knife in the bathroom and got fired.
Yeah, and I witnessed the entire altercation because she was screaming at the higher ups at the Public Works building, and I think whatever his name was, who's one of the tech supervisors. He's the bald guy. Mike something.
We can't say his last name.
No, Mike.
Please, everyone, dox Mike.
And they were just screaming at each other, right in the pavilion. And I was just sweeping around because I didn't know what else to do, and it's kind of awkward.
I'm just gonna start sweeping.
But
she showed up 2 weeks later, and she's like, "Yo, Rudy, this place has gone downhill since they fired me." And she's like, "Ow, if they ever want to hire me back, they can shut it. And then she just started walking back.
What did he say? Was it like, hey, got love for the city?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God
No, that was something different.
Oh, Tommy, the file for the other podcast is working now.
That's good. So
got love for the city.
that's a completely different one. That's a
That's the picture for the next podcast.
So there was so my boy Rudy, I was inside the company truck because we were supposed to take trash, and then there was just this crazy lady that was screaming at a trash
can?
like a garbage man, and they were having this back and forth fight, and they tried to rope Rudy into it, and then like I can't hear what they're saying because I'm inside the truck, and all of a sudden he opens the door, and he shuts it, and then he grabs the wheel, stares straight, shakes his head, and says, "I ain't got no love for the city," and then he turns on the car and keeps driving.
Welcome to the club, buddy.
I'm like, oh, okay. And then we were just silent all the way to the trash compactor.
He got love for the city.
yeah. He's like, I ain't got no love for the city. I was like, oh, thank you.
Well, like, I had encounters with the crazy eyes looking lady because she'd always like clap me up for some reason.
It's like, yo, what's up? She'd clap you.
Yeah, she'd clap me in the face.
But yeah. Yeah,
and
didn't she try to set you up with like?
Well, like that wasn't the only time because like I have no idea what it was, but I think it was like that younger girl. You know that younger girl that would like work in the. She was like a younger black girl that would work in the bathroom thing. Like she would always just stare at me. I don't know what it was. Like I would be sweeping. I'd look at like in the corner of my eye, and I'd just see her just like deadpan staring at me.
Okay, Josh, we get it. You get all the girls, and I don't.
No, but I told you about this.
It's the redness.
It's the redness.
I mean, I told you about this. But yeah, and then after I stopped working there, I went to the 12th Street bathroom, and I walked in. I don't think she like there was nobody sitting there because they usually just sit in a chair like outside of the bathrooms. And I come walking out.
You need help in there, buddy?
No, but like I come walking out. She's like, "Yo, what's up?" And I was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then then just out of nowhere, she was just like, "Hey, quick question.
You and the black chicks?"
Yeah, it's like, "You like black girls?" I was like, I guess I don't know."
Thank you.
Yeah, and it was like,
who's asking?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I guess. Why? She was like, I just wanted to know. I'll see you.
I'll see you.
Yeah, that was my last encounter with the crazy eyes.
The last encounter with crazy eyes. Caught on film.
Did you have any experiences with the bathroom attendants?
Crazy Eyes wasn't, except for the face lady. Crazy Eyes wasn't.
Did you see like the old guy that would wear the Elmo hat all the time? Did you see that guy?
You're getting way too excited about
No,
this.
because like, oh my god,
You're like clapping like a little third grader.
He's clapping like one of those capuchin monkeys.
No, but like
flashes a beta male smile.
Give us a grin, Josh. Silent grin. Come on, look up and do it.
With this Elmo guy.
It looked like he like wore the hat, and it was like a joke that went on for way too long, like an inside joke that nobody knew of or cared about, and you just wear this Elmo hat everywhere.
It's just become a fixture in his life,
essentially, and like, and he was like the angriest guy. Yeah, because like he'd always get so mad at these people for like changing in the bathrooms. And like he would just yell at them with this Elmo hat on, so like nobody could take him seriously.
Oh wait, did you guys hear about the kid that punched a dent in the side of the civic center when you guys were working? Someone in my grade, we were playing hockey out on the basketball courts, and somebody knocked out his front teeth, and he got really mad and just walked over and punched the side of the civic center and left a dent.
Because it's like aluminum. It's like aluminum.
Cheapest thing they could find.
Yeah.
That describes Ocean City as a town. Just cheapest thing you can find.
It was Well, I had Margot, and she was really, really nice to me. And she
was so sweet.
it was like this old lady, and
She's
she
like
reminded
a nurturing mother.
she did remind me of my grandmother. She was an old black woman, and she's like,
Don't listen to Rudy. You're doing your job and you're doing it right.
and actual voice. Sorry.
That was the kind of motivation
You
you
can
needed.
get out of here, Margot. We just needed you for that.
That's the kind of motivation you needed, huh?
I needed
An old black woman
an
to give
old
you.
black woman to
give
give
you
you sage
reassurance.
advice.
No one
like
gives
in all
better
the
advice
movies.
like than an old black woman.
But
That's how the story goes.
it was her, and then there was
the other.
2 Jamaican
Oh yeah.
people. There's Jamaican lady
There,
that
was the one
that I
that had like a
accidentally-
kid like running around. He just like
no, that was Crazy Eyes.
was that her?
Crazy Eyes had the kid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I accidentally spilled water on her lottery scratchers, and she freaked out on me because I was like she was on her break, and she just so happened to do it right next to where we fill up the stupid bucket.
Yeah.
I turned it just a little bit, and you know how the stupid
it's
pipes are. It just
Yeah.
and she's like, and then
I could have been a winner.
and then there was like a young Jamaican guy, and he had the voice of an angel. It was like the voice of John Legend.
Sweet.
So yeah. On top of working at the music pier, I also worked at my school, ACS, for like a little bit as like a student teacher's aide.
Yep.
But most of beautiful. So the one I'm only gonna say one story because the time's run long. So
If you make it to this episode, congrats.
yeah, that is true. Don't light my place on fire. So
Concrete Tony.
yeah, right next to a towel and cardboard.
This was a bad idea.
But yeah, and wood, yeah. Towel, cardboard, wood. Like the least flammable things in the world.
That's how I engulfed our shed in flame. Well, Tommy's shed, no.
Yeah, put it out. So basically, what are you doing?
That's a good idea.
That's pretty good. So while I was working at ACS, I'd work during the summers at their summer camp called Cougar Camp. Because we were at ACS Cougars.
Ooh, Cougar Camp.
And
Come to the Cougar Den.
I mean, you already know the story about Rijkaard and his mooning, but if fans don't know, we'll save it for a later podcast.
Why are we referring to
Keep
them
it
as
fresh.
fans? Why can't we refer to them as listeners?
Listeners don't know because they are fans. If you listen, but if listeners don't know, we'll say it in a different podcast. But so I was working with Rijkaard, and we are teenage boys, so we'd get hungry, and they'd have all the snack in one big room. And it was all like these boxes of cereal, and for some reason I was addicted to Kix. So I saw Rijkaard shove his hand in like a box of cereal and like shove it in his mouth and go, yeah. I'm like, Rijkaard, are we supposed to be doing this? And he's like, well, we're working. And then
Sounds kind of gay.
so we kept doing it, and one day I just went a little too overboard because I didn't have any breakfast. And I kept shoveling Kix in my mouth, but sometimes it would miss my mouth, so it made a huge mess all over the floor. And then I walked out without cleaning up the mess. And then I ate half of a full box of Kix that was meant for the kids. And then while we were at snack, my boss came over, and she's like, some frickin' idiot ate 1/4 of a box of our Kix and left the second quarter on the floor.
My eyes darted around. I'm like,
Nubby?
I said, I think it was Rijkaard.
First the teacher was kicking your face in the urinal. Then Rijkaard.
Yeah, I blamed it on Rijkaard.
No, Rijkaard.
Well, he got
I think I returned.
he got suspended for something completely different.
So-
He got
so-
suspended for fighting
so-
in front of a bunch of kids.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah.
So he's a convenient fall guy.
Yeah, he was a very convenient.
Part of the
fall guy.
neighborhood fall guy.
I mean, he told me that he led me to do that, so technically it is his fault. So yeah, well,
So you not only blamed it on him, but you let him take the blame. You let him agree to blame it.
Essentially.
yeah. She still probably doesn't know, and she probably won't know because she won't hear this podcast. But thanks for sticking it out with us. If you listeners listen this long,
Congrats.
thank you.
I'd say you get a prize, but Tommy's broke.
Yeah. You get a smooch from me.
Free
Whoa. Yeah,
Free
but-
kisses.
Yeah. Yeah. Free burning your hand.
Don't burn stuff inside my stupid.
I'm not.
Welcome to Burning Man.
Stop!